The drum speaks to all languages and connects us all. I loved reaching out to the community, building bridges. After a day's hard work, you'd go to a show and you'd just feel so much joy. It gave me so much life in my classroom, and the children, it just brought life to all of us.
Back in 2001 or 2002, Maples Elementary was in transition. It was changing to a predominantly Arabic neighborhood, and so the enrollment in the school was changing also. And I had a wonderful music teacher, Kathy Prowse, who was a phenom, and so I went to her and said, Kathy, we need to get some Arabic culture into our music program. And she said, let me think about it.
In the fall of 2002, we brought in a Ghanaian drummer to work with all of the elementary staff. And it was during that session that the drummer, as we were working on African patterns, the drummer said, why are you trying to do African drumming when you have this rich cultural base in your backyard? Kathy took that to heart, and it flew.
She invited some kids to bring in a drum. And from that day on, it just exploded.
Welcome to the floor, the Maple Arabic drummers from Dearborn.
The opening of the Max was a great event. Being signed on the spot in the summer of '03, we hadn't even really had a name for our group. I can remember saying, I want to use the word ensemble. That's something I teach in my class. And I can remember thinking about the excitement of signing a contract with the DSO and being told you're guests of the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. That was like such and of course I spent the whole summer working on things that we could use in that performance.
As they would go do performances, they would continue to be invited to additional performances. One of their most memorable, I would say, that they would probably say was they went to Lansing last year to the Capitol, and they played in the Rotunda, and it was quite an experience. It was a performance that was mostly for high school students, and they were the only elementary group invited to come.
There was standing room only in the session, and it was new to all the music teachers across the state. And it was just a nice way to be featured. Another opportunity that we had is that we were asked to co-author a book that talks about music education as it relates to other cultures. And so we did a chapter in that book talking about how we connected to the Arabic community through the drumming ensemble.
The drummers are a real sense of pride, or a real pride point for the community, both inside and outside of the school. Outside of the school, because it has impacted or affected so many people. For instance, my secretary at this point, her children, who are now all in college, were part of the original drumming corps with Mrs. Prowse. So she has that sense of pride and takes a real ownership and interest. The community members rally around things like that.
I received so much help from the parents. It really connected me with the families. They were very welcoming and they loved this idea. Everyone is so proud of their children, and to be able to connect with so many families was a great joy.
All right. And now the alumni ensemble gathered here at Naples today.
I was able to use the drum to connect with those children and teach a lot of my concepts. Some of those children are probably getting close to 30 years old now. And when I get a request to come attend a wedding or a party and they tell me what a difference I made in their lives, that is really a reward that all teachers just cherish.
Oftentimes, she finds students that struggle behaviorally or academically in the classroom, and they are able, with her encouragement, to find a strength and find a way to excel in drumming.
What you'll notice when you see these kids perform, they're loving it. There are smiles. They're excited to do what they're doing. And that excitement just doesn't stop when they're off the stage or when they're off practicing. It continues. They're excited to go to school. They're excited to be there. It has affected the whole culture of the school.
Mrs. Catherine Krause, the Maple staff, students, and parents appreciate your dedication and all the kindness you bring to our school and community.
Kathy's last year of teaching, she chose to accept a student teacher who embraced all that Kathy was teaching, including the ensemble. And it happened to be that we had an opening to fill because Kathy was retiring, and Liz Myers applied for that position and was hands down the best person for that job.
What a privilege it is for me to continue this great tradition, and I'm very happy that our students are doing so well. I'm thankful that you allowed us to come tonight, and the students are very excited.
Being a student teacher with Kathy was like somebody going to Disney World, because she was giving me all kinds of incredible things to do in the classroom, and every day was like an adventure. So I was really ecstatic to be working with her, and from day one we just hit it off. It was a little overwhelming because I kind of looked at all the things she did and I thought, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, how does this lady do all this? And I kind of in the back of my mind at that time thought, I think I need 2 years with her, because there was so much. But it was magical, and I loved everything I learned from Kathy because she gave everything with love, just like she taught to students. In my first year, we carried on and did some of the same things that Kathy had done with the collage concert and some of the other things, but I wasn't looking to do something really huge because I was still building my own group and trying to do it really well. I knew that it was the lifeblood of the school. It was so special, and I never ever felt not accepted. I always felt warmly accepted and embraced.
I'm amazed every day by Mrs. Myers. There isn't anything that Mrs. Myers doesn't take on, and she just, this little music group, how many facets and how many areas of the school it reaches out and impacts is just so important. It's a very big center of pride for the families themselves, for the school family, and for the community, and I just love to see it continue to flourish.
There is such warmth and appreciation for what these children are able to do. Parents love having their children featured. They love seeing, any parent loves to see their child be successful. And to be successful and to have this combination of two different communities joining together in order to have this beautiful expression, musical expression, is phenomenal.
I think that kids have this opportunity to perform live, and when they get it, it's like nothing else, because you can't replicate that anywhere else but when you're performing musically in front of people. It heightens everything. It's that competitive part of us that wants to do our best with pressure, and you have this excitement and nerves and all of those things, and then you go out and do it, and there's nothing else in my mind besides musical performance and excellence in that way, that feeling that students get, the adrenaline, the rush of doing a great job for all to see. There's something very special about that.